All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Rocky Top Insider Postgame Show. This is Ryan Shumpert. I'm Rick Butler. There's commotion happening all around us. There is chaos happening as Tennessee's grounds crew tries to clean up what is left of Neyland Stadium field. There is grass chunks taken out of the field. There's trash and debris everywhere, but for good reason. Tennessee comes out the victors in the third Saturday in October rivalry by a score of 24-17 over Alabama. This is Ryan Shumpert. I'm Rick Butler. Ryan, as we sit here about 30 minutes or so after the game, obviously...
Oh, it's way past 30 minutes after the game at this point, Rick.
It's way past that.
It might be 90 minutes after the game.
It might be. I think I see a chunk of grass over here in the stands.
Let me bring it for the
show. Yeah, go get it. Go get it. There is stuff we found a shoe earlier. Ryan's got a chunk of grass in his hand. Bring this thing over.
Replace your divots, people. Replace your divots. Put sand in your divots.
You got to drop some sand down if you're going to take a chunk out like that. That looks like our good friend Jack Foster after he hits a bit of a shank. You put that back. It'll grow back.
Yeah,
it's biodegradable. Right, as we sit here about 90 minutes after the game, whatever it's been, just sort of what is going through your head right now? Where are you at with this game?
I think when it comes to the game, it's just how elite Tennessee's defense is, and there's no caveats anymore.
Flip that around. There.
A lot of adversity. No caveats anymore. I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time. Tennessee's defense is elite, but NC State's offensive line is terrible. We don't really know what they are. Tennessee defense is elite, but Oklahoma, or they played elite, but Oklahoma, their offense is awful, and the quarterback's awful. Tennessee defense played really well, but Florida, Arkansas, fine offense is not great. This was the challenge everybody circled for Tennessee's defense. Alabama, one of the best offenses in the SEC, if not the best offense in the SEC, and they rose to the occasion. They were a phenomenal night, gave up 17 points, just over 300 yards, 75 rushing yards. They were simply fantastic. And again, when Tennessee's offense struggled, another scoreless first half, they kept them in the game, just giving up 7 points, and then they continued to play at a really, really high level in the second half when Duvall's offense did be going.
Right, and I think that's the important thing, right? Because anybody would want a great defense, but it's just that much more important right now as Tennessee's offense continues to stumble a little bit, continues to try to find their footing. Tennessee's defense is keeping them around in these games, and maybe more importantly, especially what we saw today against Alabama, they were able to close out the game. I know you wrote down those stats on social media, but Tennessee's last 3, 4, 5 drives, whatever it was, they were able to clamp down on Alabama. They were able to make life miserable for Jalen Milroe and eventually secure that victory for Tennessee.
Yeah, final 4 drives of the game for Alabama. 3 and out, 4 and out, picks or interception, game-sealing interception, no first downs. It started, I think, maybe late third quarter with Tennessee trailing, and it goes through the end of the game. As Tennessee takes the lead, they get good, solid field position because of, good defense, a 3 and out with Alabama backed up, and they were just fantastic.
Absolutely. Who makes that play there at the very end?
Yeah,
that would be none other than Will Brooks. As always, you can go over to RockyTopInsider.com. Ryan wrote a great feature on Will Brooks. Talk to the Brooks family, talk to Will Brooks' former coaches, things like that. You should really go and do that because it is a crazy journey. I mean, it started in Birmingham, Alabama, or at least around that area.
Yeah, Vestavia Hills.
As an unranked prospect, an unrecruited prospect, really, and now he's making one of the game-winning kind of go-ahead interceptions against Alabama. What a story. I'd highly recommend everybody go out and find that story on RockyTopInsider.com. Ryan wrote a great feature.
Yeah, he played a great game even, before that interception. He makes the shoestring tackle on Jalen Milroe that saved probably a 70-yard touchdown in the first half. He was fantastic, and I thought, you heard some Tennessee players, I think Aaron Carter, talking about what a good teammate he is, what a good leader. It really echoed a lot of the people I talked to down in Vestavia Hills. They said one of them, who was an Alabama fan, his defensive backs coach, texted me after the game talking about how happy he was for Will Brooks and what a great game he played. So a lot of people, a lot of angry people down in Birmingham, but a handful of people in Orange happy, very happy for Will Brooks.
That's terrific. Again, go ahead and find that on RockyTopInsider.com. Will Brooks was part of that Tennessee defense that only allowed 314 yards to the Alabama offense. Alabama ran 79 offensive plays. Tennessee had nearly 100 more yards on, 8 fewer plays than Alabama. I think that pretty much speaks to Tennessee's defensive prowess. One thing that I certainly noticed from our YouTube comments last week is that the people, they wanted more questions from the media for Jermon McCoy. Well, Jermon McCoy was not available for the media today, but we're certainly going to talk about him right now. Jermon McCoy had a phenomenal game for Tennessee. He is continuing to be one of Tennessee's most important players, most valuable players. He is continually proving to be a true SEC cornerback. He made a phenomenal interception on Jalen Milroe right here in the end zone. Looked like he might have even baited him a little bit. I need to go back and watch that tape, but Jermon McCoy really able to step up for Tennessee.
Yeah, he was really good, and he wasn't strictly, shadowing Ryan Williams all night, but he was matched up with him a lot. And, he lost some of those battles, but he won his fair share too. Played through an injury that he suffered in the game. He was just phenomenal. I think he's changed Tennessee's defense in a lot of ways, having a true elite cover corner. And no one, well, at least it's going to take a lot for someone to pass Hendon Hooker as Tennessee football's most impactful transfer in this transfer portal era. I'm not sure there's anybody that's had a bigger impact than Jermon McCoy behind Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, absolutely. He was big for this Tennessee defense all night, and he will certainly continue to be. Trying to think if there's any other names to recognize from the defense. I don't know if any are coming to my head right now. We'll talk about it more on the Press Pass podcast, but a complete effort from Tennessee's defensive group.
Yeah, it was. The secondary as a whole, I thought, played really well because it didn't feel like Tennessee's pass rush was just great tonight. At least bringing 4. I mean, they had some times that they affected the passer, but it wasn't like that Oklahoma game. It wasn't like that NC State game where it was snap, boom, guys are at the quarterback. So I thought that defensive backfield just played really well.
All right, well, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room now that we maybe have a little bit of quiet, or more quiet than we were used to a second ago.
I need to go a little tempo to take advantage.
We're in the right stadium for it, at least. Tennessee's third straight game without scoring any points in the first half. They do tack on 24 points in the final 2 frames of the game, but it continues to be an issue for Tennessee starting slow. And certainly Nico Iamaleava had a very forgettable first quarter. He was not good, did not have a great first half in general. He did get hurt at some point in the game. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of information as to what that maybe was, but he did start to get a little bit better as the game went on. Certainly some throws that he would have wanted back, certainly some easy throws that maybe did not go the right way, but he also made some important throws when he was needed, some high difficulty plays when he needed to. Sort of what are your overall thoughts about where the offense went and how they did it tonight?
Yeah, I mean, when I started with Nico, awful first half, to be frank. 2 interceptions. One of them was absolutely terrible. It was just 1 interception. Tennessee turned it over 3 times, but 1 interception, absolutely terrible. He missed an open Chris Brazell deep down the field, a wide open Squirrel White, and I think we've kind of seen this evolution. Over these 3 scoreless first halves, Tennessee didn't get really anything going against Arkansas. They had some opportunities against Florida. I felt like they had nothing but opportunities in the first half of this game. They only punted 1 time. They didn't score in the first half. Interception in the red zone, fumble from Dylan Sampson in the red zone, 2 missed field goals, some of those missed throws I talked about. So when you talk about Tennessee being close, there's just one thing here or there keeping it from clicking. It felt like that a ton tonight, but especially in the first half. But to your point, it felt like Nico grew up and made some really big plays in the first half. A nice long scramble on Tennessee's first touchdown drive of the night to set him up first and goal. A beautiful deep ball to Dante Thornton kind of on the run on 3rd down right here. It was 55 yards, set up second touchdown, and then another big 3rd down throw. And when he connected with Chris Brazell, and a great throw for a 16-yard touchdown on Tennessee's final touchdown of the night. So he played a lot better in the second half. Wasn't perfect in the second half, but was a lot better. Made some big-time throws at big moments. And then just to kind of further your question about the offense, so Tennessee's rushing attack got going way different in the second half. I think it was something like 40.
It's been common.
Yeah, it's been common. Something like 45 yards in the first half and around, a little 100 and change, I think, in the second half. So that was a big aspect of it as well.
Yeah, Tennessee finishes with 217 rushing yards in total.
And they probably had maybe 170 or something like that in the second half.
It was big. And again, Dylan Sampson continues to be that bell cow for Tennessee, to be that guy. Because as you were just saying, Tennessee needed Nico Iamaleava to play well and to improve his play throughout the game if they were going to win that game. But the backbone of the Tennessee offense, the fundamentals of the Tennessee offense, that's Dylan Sampson. They continue to give him the ball. They continue to put the work on his load. Alvin Kamara, VFL, was in the house today for this game. Yep. Dylan Sampson said he talked to him before the game and talked to him a little bit after the game. But certainly another standout performance from Dylan Sampson as he continues to be just a phenomenal piece for Tennessee. One of the big reasons why Tennessee is able to pick up these wins, even with the offense a little bit sputtering during them.
Yeah, no, he was, again, really good tonight. And it was kind of a classic, Tennessee's first touchdown drive. He had a couple long runs. Felt like he hadn't done anything before that drive. You look up, he'd had like 93 yards at that point in the game early in the third quarter. So he was phenomenal. And then one thing I'll note, too, Nico, with his legs tonight, was really effective. I think he ran for around 50 yards maybe.
61
yards. And to that point.
On 9 carries.
credit Tennessee's offensive line. They were really good in pass protection tonight. No sacks. I think one holding. A couple times Nico was pressured for sure. I think there was the one sack play Nico got hurt on with the sack. But they were much, much better tonight than they've been either in the past 2 weeks.
No doubt
three games. Go back to Oklahoma.
Yeah, no doubt about it. There is so much going on. There's so much to talk about. I think I'm going to save the rest of my thoughts. Only got a couple more, but things I want to expand on a little bit for the Rocky Top Insider Press Pass podcast. Anything you want to say as we wrap this thing up?
No, I mean, I think that's about it. The parity in the league continuing to show up, I guess, as a whole. At the time of recording, Georgia's putting it on Texas. Florida's putting it on Kentucky. Another crazy day in the Southeastern Conference.
It certainly is. Hey, that's going to wrap it up for us for the Rocky Top Insider Press Pass postgame. Let's get out of here. Thanks for watching.